Hello, and welcome to another episode of Thrill Hills / Unnamed Park, whatever you want to call it, because Thrill Hills is still a temporary name. In this episode, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, we are building a B&M Giga Coaster very similar to Fury 325. Would this be better? You'll just have to wait and see and give me your opinions. I specifically based this kind of off of Fury 325, but I wanted it to still have its own identity, so you'll definitely see that in this episode. So we will be building the Giga, as long as we will have some help from other people to build all the supports to make it look nice and pretty, like a normal Giga coaster. And we will be preparing for the park entrance, which will be coming in the next episode. I had just so much fun building this, and I'm very happy with the turnout. I think you will be too. It is just such a nice flowy ride. It really does feel like something B&M would build. Now, okay. So I'm just proud of it. So it is kind of a bit more forceful than usual on some elements. But you also have to remember that the forces in this game are kind of inaccurate. And I wanted it to kind of give a little bit of a punch. This is longer than Fury, taller than Fury, faster than Fury, etc. I'm pretty sure it ended up being 338 feet tall, which, by the way, I will need name suggestions, so 338 feet if you want to include that in the name. Not exactly recommending it, but if you want to, then go ahead. So this ride stretches all across the parking lot, outside of the parking lot actually, all the way over, including crossing over what will be the entrance, very similarly to Fury 325, except probably not as good. I felt it would be kind of realistic to not do everything better than Fury. So there's of course still a couple elements that are kind of duds, similar to Fury. This speed hill is the crossover that I'm talking about here. Looks really nice, not exactly perfectly lined up, so the entrance will be kind of at an angle, just to make it look better, but yep, looks good. And then we have a couple low to the ground turns, a turnaround, which I really like, even though the shaping isn't perfect. I like the shaping on it, if that makes sense. Like, it isn't like the real life element, but I like how it looks. And that is a Shambhala style turnaround. And I also built this right after riding Fury from when I went with EK Thrills. So I built this a while ago. Takara Wins, where we did that, the spin the wheel video, which, by the way, check out his channel if you haven't, and if you have, make sure you check out that video. It was really fun to make. And that's what I realized, that Fury goes like negative G's pretty much. Those hills feel different. So most of the hills on this ride pull like negative 0.10 or something, just to give you that little like oomph. Here's one of those high speed curves that I'm talking about, which is kind of more of a graceful thing, but it's really just trying to take in the speed. It says 340 now, but the lift hill does completely get rebuilt, and it takes it down 2 feet, which I don't think really matters, and it doesn't hurt the pacing of the ride at all. And here we come up into the turnaround. As you can see, we're way past the parking lot at this point. This is not what it'll end up looking like, because it pulls 4 Gs. It looks more like this. I don't know, I like the look of it having like the weird shaping. I think it looks nice. It does end up getting a bit more perfected, but yeah, it just kind of gives it more consistent forces throughout the thing. Now hitting the return trip, which, as you can see in the background, that was the Gen 1 version of this, which I didn't really like, so I redid it. And there was a massive camelback over the entrance, and I still wanted a giant camelback on this, which I think is something that Fury could use. So this is the reincarnation of that element, I guess. I did try to put a tunnel under the entrance, but it just wasn't working well. So I ended up backing up the hill and doing another element over the entrance. And here's the part where I start to struggle. I should also try to do some crazy double down thing, but I realized that would be kind of unrealistic for B&M, and it wasn't proportional, so yeah. So I have kind of finished almost completely planning this park. I'll probably take out a couple coasters, but we're looking at over a 30 episode series most likely with 17 coasters. So this is not going to be a small park, and the fact that I went to Cedar Point definitely is going to increase the realism? No. Representate. It's inspired off of Cedar Point a bit more now that I've visited there. Which, by the way, the vlog has probably already come out by now, so if you want to go watch that, go ahead. 2-part vlog, so I'm assuming part 1 will probably be out by this point, but not part 2. Because I have part 1 pretty much finished at the time of recording this, so yeah. But I also thought it'd be fun to have a spaghetti bowl section at the end of it. This is heavily inspired off of Candemonium, except apparently the Candemonium one doesn't pull very good forces, but this one does. So, yeah. Sorry, Candemonium. The brake run also kind of gets extended, and it's a bit of a shorter... It's long brake run, but it's pretty, like, short in height. Very similar to Fury, because the other ones are just kind of unnecessary. But it is kind of profiled differently. When it comes to when this Giga was built, I would say around the same time as Orion. I think I have built a full timeline for this park. Let me look. Hold up. 2020 is when this would have been built, kind of. So that's like a year before Orion, but they would have been... I'm pretty sure Orion got delayed because of COVID, so pretty much the same time as Orion. This is this cool sideways hill. I don't actually know if it hits, but it rides really, like... It rides really nice, like, satisfyingly, and it looks nice. There's also a pretty long time-lapse. It's like a 16-minute time-lapse. And then I also have a POV at the end, which kind of extended the video. So sorry that it's a little long. I don't really like long videos, but, you know. I will do what I have to do to get this park series out. When it comes to what videos I'm hoping to put this summer, because obviously I just went to Cedar Point. I want to get some reviews of those rides. And then also, I'm thinking of... Tell me in the comments if you think this is a good idea. I really do want to try to do some coaster parodies. I have 2 really good ones in mind, but I'm not going to say what they are. I think it would just be really fun to make. And I think if we can get EK Thrills and EK Thrills, like, gang, whatever, to get it on the net, I'll have enough people to actually make decent skits. Because I don't think I have a lot of people really close to me that would actually want to be in one of those. This helix pulls a good amount of forces. Pretty forceful, so you know. And then, wow. Okay, we're already done with the layout. That was actually pretty fast. So the supports end up being a grayish white, like a really light gray. And then you're about to see me go through the layout a couple times. That is because I'm trying to mess with the block sections and smooth it out more. Just the block sections were messed up. You would have to dispatch like a minute in order for it to work. So what I ended up doing is I moved the station and moved it to 45-second dispatches. And then when they all got custom supported, the station got moved back, but now 45 seconds is possible. Just not super realistic, but you know, it's definitely possible. It was possible before, it just wasn't very realistic, but it's a bit more realistic now. I did have this kind of unnecessary banking at that drop, so I fixed that. But the thing that I'm talking about that's kind of uneven is that the outer bank behind the speed hill is kind of not lined up. Also, I'm not sure how I feel specifically about that element. Out of all the elements, that's the one that I'm the most unsure about, because then there's another outer bank right after it, but I didn't really know what to put there. So if you have any ideas for that, also just comment those. I think this ride ended up turning out like really well, and it was just what I wanted, and I think it's going to be a perfect standout attraction at this park, and will really set a pretty decent standard for me to build at. We don't do any of the queue or entrance or station or anything. Number one, because there's no real theme yet, and I'm not expecting to really put a theme, maybe light theming, similar to Orion. And also, I don't know what the park's going to look like. We will build all that line and stuff when we get over to that side of the park. So actually, if you kind of look, you'll see in the real time that this helix kind of would go right in front of the entrance plaza, but I want something else to be there. So what I'm probably going to do is have the entrance plaza go angled to the right, like at 45 degrees away from this ride, simply so I can kind of expand on that entrance plaza. Another thing that I kind of set myself up with for failure is that this kind of builds a natural border on the side of the park, which makes it to where I can't build super duper far to the left, but it's fine. I'll just build really far back, kind of similar to Carowinds. And I can still go pretty far right, just not a lot left. But yeah, I'm fine with that, and I think I am gonna try and expand beyond it, but not using paths. So if that's kind of a tease at all, I doubt it is. But if you can figure that out, then yeah. So I definitely took inspiration from all 3 Gigas here, but specifically Fury. But I wanted to incorporate kind of those modern Outer Bank elements that B&M was kind of testing with Orion. Orion is still very much a dud ride for me, and if you want me to make a review on why I'm not a giant fan on that ride, because I've been getting so much backlash on all the comment sections when I'll say Orion is boring, I will gladly make a review explaining that. I don't even want to know how much hate comments I've gotten for calling it boring, but yeah. So now I'm starting to run out of stuff to talk about. So now I'm moving the station, which fixes the block sections. Actually, no, it doesn't get moved. What am I talking about? It doesn't get moved when the chain lift gets changed. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So at first it was kind of like Leviathan, where it has a turn and then it goes into lift. But now it's like Fury and Orion. I'm really excited to see whenever B&M builds another one of these, that like what it will look like compared to Orion. Like I would love to see a larger scale one similar to Fury and see what they would do, because I know that they kind of build differently now. And also if it has a rattle, which, speaking of Giga Coasters, Tormenta is opening at some point. It was supposed to open this Friday or something, and it got delayed. So that will be the 4th B&M Giga, so we'll just have to see how that goes. Oh, now we're here with the helper, which is EK Thrills. Thank you so much, EK Thrills. You made this ride look so much better. He also reprofiled the drop and pull out because it kind of looked goofy. He has much more experience with Pro Track, as you saw. This is the first ride where I used a lot of Pro Track, but I didn't use it for the whole ride. But I've gotten better and better at it now using Pro Track, so you know, I'll get there one day. And now he's just kind of reprofiling some stuff, and he's going to start custom supporting. And yeah, his game, I was on a call with him, his game kept on crashing. But one of the so number 1, he's better at this, but number 2, also the Scenery Anarchy mod, for some reason just won't work on my computer. I'm so dumb with my computer. I want to build another one so badly, but yeah, there's the reprofiling that I talked about that made it look better. Like, it's just like my game crashes whenever I download something on the Steam Workshop. It's just getting really annoying. I can't even run this game where it has shade, like where it gets dark in buildings. My game can't do that. So it's starting to get on my nerves a lot more, especially now that I'm in summer. And so I'm just on my computer a lot. But I mean, yeah, that's the mod that I'm talking about, where you can just line stuff up. Now that won't work on my computer. It's never been able to work. So hopefully the coaster mods will still, you know, work. I don't know why he's building black supports, but it's gray, by the way, so don't worry. I don't like the idea of having black supports. On a Giga, I tried to explain it to him, but I'm not very good at explaining, so. And then here we go with the supports, which instantly make it look so much better. And you'll see in the real time the views from the parking lot and the views driving up. Like, there's just perfect openings, and there's just boom, big ride, and it's just so good. It's so good. I'm so proud of this ride. I'm just gonna keep on glazing this ride, aren't I? Okay. I need to stop randomly freezing. What do I need to talk about? Oh. Nope. I don't even know what I was saying. So I might be going to over Georgia soon. Here he is reworking the brake run in the station. Soon. But I won't be vlogging. I might get a couple short videos. Oh, magnetic brakes. He has magnetic brakes on his B&M coasters, and I don't. So I need to know if that's he's special or if I'm special. Because I was messing with the brake run after, because the block sections were kind of funny. And then it just wasn't working. Like, I tried to put magnetic brakes, and there just wasn't an option, so. Yeah, there he is looking at the old turnaround and saying how he likes the new one more. So, yeah. And now we're frozen. We should be out of this time lapse soon. I don't know exactly the time because I stupidly edited the rest of the video first. But next episode we're gonna have to do more stuff than I wanted to, because this ride took up more space than I wanted to, and you'll see what I'm talking about in the real time, so I won't really spoil it for you. Which it kind of stinks that what happened had to happen, because that just more work for me, and I hate when I have to do stuff like that. So we won't really get started on the actual midway or entry lane, whatever you want to call it, in the next episode, because we have to do more stuff, and like I said, no crazy long episodes. And then here he is finishing up the station. So thanks a lot, EK Thrills. That's pretty much about it. He custom supports the rest of the ride, but I don't think he filmed it. But you'll see that in real time. So yeah, this just looks perfect. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh nope, he does film him supporting a little bit. Okay. If you can tell now what I'm talking about, what we're gonna have to fix. Well, there you go. Didn't want to have to do that. Thought I could try and work the supports around, but it didn't work out. So yeah. Yeah. So he didn't put any footers in. I put all the footers in. So it kind of gives me a perspective of what I'm gonna need to avoid moving forward. And then he also custom supports this, which actually in the POV the clearance is messed up. I put a clearance guide in after, and somebody's hand would completely get cut off by the track right there. But I fix it and move the supports back, and it still rides pretty much perfectly fine. Still a little jerky, but you know. Also in the POV, this airtime hill is like the joltiest transition in the world. Because of a trim, which I might just end up having to remove the trim, even though that's a very un-B&M thing to do. Oh, and we're in real time. Alright, so I will see you. Well, I will see you in real time now. Yeah. Hello and welcome back to Thrill Hills episode 3. Well, not welcome back. Welcome to the real time, where we are starting back at the parking toll booth, and as you can tell, there's a new giant here. That is just such a good view. Imagine driving up and seeing this. Name suggestions greatly welcome for the name of the park and the name of the ride. I've got name suggestions for the park, so keep on name suggesting if that makes any sense. But there is one major change that you have not seen on the camera, and that is that our bus only area is now gone because the ride took up it. So now any ideas, feel free to let me know. I gotta fill up this space with the bus stop and not go. Well, I can go under the ride, but I can't have any of the actual parking lot or anything really under it, because I have to dodge the actual ride supports. Again, special thank you to EK Thrills for custom supporting all the custom supports you see, which is this main turn, airtime hill turnaround, and most importantly, the lift. And oh man, look at that. That is beautiful. Such just a great looking ride. He also reworked the brake run and everything. I'm so happy with the way this turned out. This is like the proudest that I've ever been for a ride, or one of the most proud that I've been. It just looks amazing. It rides amazing. It's everything that I wanted to come out of this Giga. I wanted something that would rival Fury, and I think this definitely does. Would it be better? I don't know. Haven't been on it, obviously. But just overall, I mean, so many nice views. I wanted the path crossover and everything, because this is where I'm planning on putting the entrance for this park. And as you can tell, I've already started to plan some, but I won't spoil stuff. So next episode, we are probably going to work on the entrance. And I wanted to start on the main pathway, but I don't think that's going to happen simply because of the fact that we have to also rebuild the bus stop, and I don't want crazy long episodes. But I think I'm going to finish this off with a POV. So thanks for watching this, and I will see you in the next episode of Unnamed Park / Thrill Hills, or whatever you want to call it.